Good morning. It's Thursday, May 22nd. I'm at the southern entrance to Grayson Highlands. I saw a few ponies last night. I'm going to be going further into the Grayson Highlands. I think it's a state park. I'm not sure. Could be national park. But I'm going to go 15 miles today to get to Hurricane Mountain Shelter. If I get tired and decide not to go that far, there's a campsite about 12.4 miles up. So it's a big change in weather. Last night the winds were howling all night long. I stayed dry and warm. There was no rain. I was under some trees. A lot of people were out in the grassy areas and were being blown all over the place. Anyway, I'm in the beanie again, the warm puffy jacket and pants today. It's cold and breezy. It kind of reminds me of Point Reyes. I mean, the winds are still howling. It's overcast and there's that mist flying through the air like you see on the coast. Yeah, so I'm going to hit the road today and see how it goes. Met a guy last night that's from Salinas, California. He goes by the trail name of Contrast. He's older, about my age, and probably see him along the trail. I'm thinking about stopping in Troutville. Troutville is a very, very small community at mile 420, so that'd be sometime tomorrow morning. They have basically two hostels. One's a church hostel, and that's probably the one I'll stay at, and a post office, and that's about it. My reasoning for that is because I need to get laundry and a shower for sure. I'm filthy, even after 2 days. They don't really have laundry in Marion unless you stay at the hostel, and I do not want to stay at the hostel there. I want to actually get a motel room. They don't have laundry at their motel room, so I figure I can get to Troutville tomorrow, do my laundry, take a shower, and charge up some of my electronic devices that are draining, and then literally either the next day or the day after, because Marion's only about 15 miles up the road from Troutville. Marion's a lot bigger community. I would book a hotel room. I really want a hotel room to myself rather than going to a hostel where everybody's there doing their thing. So time to myself, get cleaned up. That's where I will resupply. They have a Walmart right across from there are 3 different small hotels there, and get cleaned up there, maybe even clean up my tent in the bathtub there. They don't have laundry, but they have everything else I need. So in the next 3 days, I might make 2 short stops, but all is well. And it also kind of gets me out of the cold. I'm kind of wanting to stay in that warm weather anyway. All is well, and I'm on my way. So continue to follow along, and I'll see if we can see some more ponies today. So this is not necessarily the trail I'm going on, but you know, if I'm going to see ponies, I'm going to see ponies, and that's it. So this is actually the trail right here. That was a secondary trail off to the right, but I guess I'm going to go right by them anyway, aren't I? There they are. These guys are frisky. They're moving around pretty good this morning. Definitely not afraid of people, that's for sure. Hey there, buddy. Well, you kind of see the weather I'm dealing with right now. And the mist blowing through the hillside here. Looks like the sun's trying to peek out over there. I'm guessing the sun will peek out. Look at that over there. There's some sun, but you know, I think this will all clear out at some point, especially with the winds being as strong as they are. The ponies are out, so I don't think they're deterred by the weather at all. And yeah, should be a good one. Let's see how it goes. Well, looky here, nice little bench. It might be time to take a seat and ponder life. There are a few ponies down there. People, it looks like through hikers, getting right up on them to get their photographs. I'll probably do the same. But I'm going to take a seat on this bad boy and maybe try to figure out a few things, see where I'm heading, what I'm doing, that sort of thing, you know. Maybe I'll even hike the trail today. Okay, currently 10 a.m. I took a side trail off the main trail, just not even like 1,000 yards, not too far, so I'm not falling too far off. I'll just jump right back on in a minute. But I'm here for the ponies, baby. It looks like they bring feed out to them, which is surprising because I thought they were out here to graze. But yeah, they're beautiful. They have some Palomino style. And this is where they bend down, I guess. I just having a good little time. This guy's passed out. He had a hard night apparently. Hi there. You have a rough night last night there, buddy? Yeah, I get it. Too much partying, huh? But these are some of the ponies. Pretty docile. This guy's taking a nap too, but this one looks like a cow. Yeah, So there's some cows up here as well. And this guy's taking a nap. So I decided to show you what there's like. Pretty cool. So Grayson Highlands is fairly rocky, the trail anyway. I've gone through a lot of rock today and it's been exposed, which is nice. It's not too bad, but look what I'm going into. It's like a tree tunnel. This is where I'm heading. So I've got about 1.5 miles to the next shelter where I'm going to stop and take a breather, maybe eat an early lunch or a lunch, use the privy and all that stuff. And then I'll continue on pushing for that campsite slant shelter that's about 15 miles out. It's looking like it could be anywhere between 4 or 5 p.m. again. And honestly, I don't mind. I mean, I'm here to hike and I've got the whole day ahead of me. As long as there's daylight out, I can do it. So, I've met a handful of day hikers, haven't many through hikers besides myself yet this morning, other than back at the campsite. So at that last campsite I stayed at, there were a handful of pass-through hikers, very, very kind guys that came over and said hi and wished me and others luck. So they had through hike last year or the year before, and they met up at Damascus for trail days. And as a collective group of 3 or 4 of them, they decided they were gonna go out for about a week and hit some of the highlights of the trail, like camp overnight. And one of the highlights of the trail was Grayson Highlands. So they spent the night last night here. And I've met a number of day hikers that tell me that this is their favorite part of the trail as well. So there's something to be said about it. There's a beautiful bird up here on this rock. Hopefully he doesn't fly away before I get up there, because I'd like to snap a picture of him. But yeah, here's where I'm at. All right, so I'm about to cross this little bridge here with a cable to hold on to. I was gonna not film it. I'm obviously not holding on to the cable. Nice little creek running through. I'm gonna try to make an effort to drink a liter of water out here and refill at that next shelter. So I'm gonna go a liter at the shelter when I get there in about a mile, and then fill it up again. That way I can stay on top of my water drinking. Being cold today, not as thirsty, but still need to take water in for sure so I don't get dehydrated. I don't think I am yet. But now that I came down a little hill, I'm probably getting ready to climb another one. That should be fun, huh? Walking through this little cow gate here. It's kind of narrow even for me and my pack. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going down this way maybe. I'll check it out on my map. It's 11 a.m. coming up on the Wise shelter. I'm going to stop here for a minute, change into my shorts and my wind shirt. I'm getting overheated. Sun's out now. I'm down low outside of the breeze. Nice looking shelter. Nobody's here. So, just me. All right. I don't know if there's a water source around here or not. Privy, we'll have to look, I guess. All right, so it's coming upon 12 o'clock. I'm just outside the Wise shelter in Grayson Highlands. And it's not something I typically do, but I'm inside the privy, and I'm only showing you this because this is what a typical privy looks like right here in the backwoods. This is the nicest one I've been in. It's brand new, and it's, in terms of shelter, it's massive, meaning that there's a lot of room to move around in here. You could change in here and all, but it's a good privy. I know that it's kind of strange, but I thought, who knows, maybe people following my YouTube channel want to see what a privy looks like, so now you know. So I realized I didn't show you the outside of the privy. This is what the outside looks like. Now the door is swinging open because of the wind. I guess I should secure that. So let me do that, because now it's not going to swing open. But I'm getting back on the trail. It's 12:05. I've spent about 35 minutes at this shelter having my lunch and hanging out with Toe Jam. He walked in while I was there. So this is like the third encounter I've had with Toe Jam. He's from St. Louis, and I don't know much more about him, but we've talked a handful of times and he seems like a really good guy. So I'm sure we'll be coming in contact again. I'm trying to make it to Hurricane Mountain Shelter, and I want to say I'm probably about 9 miles out, so 4:30ish maybe. and he said that that's where he's heading as well. So we'll likely see each other there. I'm gonna tent camp though, that's my plan. So again, this is the Wise shelter here, and that's where I was just at. So as I was leaving, a young couple was coming in. So anyway, this is where I'm heading. I took the rain slant windbreaker off, rain jacket off, and I'm down to my wind shirt and shorts. I unzipped the lower parts of my pants and went down to shorts. It's warm, just super windy, but being back in here, you're away from the wind at the moment. It's above us, so that's good. So this Wise shelter looks like it has some camping spots here. Oh, look at that, it says no tent camping. So, but they do have a bear box over there. These shelters that we've been to lately have had bear boxes instead of cables to hang from. I prefer the bear boxes because they're just easier to access than hanging your food from even the cables. And you know, both of those are better options than hanging from the trees in general. So I haven't had to do that yet. I mean, I have, but not recently. So anyway, here we go. So I just realized I'm about 5.5 hours from the shelter I want to stay at, 5:30ish or so. If it gets to be too much later, I might just choose a different option, maybe tent camping, or there's a closer shelter. But I'm going slow, and I'm doing a lot of filming and checking out the ponies. Look at this cool waterfall. But I just want to make sure I'm enjoying myself out here. If that pulls me down, then I guess that's what happens. That's a pretty decent waterfall going there for a small one. And yeah, here we are. All right, had to film this area for obvious reasons. It's just beautiful. So that's where I'm coming from. That's the kind of terrain I've been going through pretty much all day, just rocky. Nice little stream. This plank board's pretty cool, leading out in that direction. So yeah. Again, it's not much later than when I filmed last time, about 12:15 or so. I'm making very slow progress because I keep stopping to do a different chore or something. Like I just stopped at the rushing stream to refill my spare water bottle because I'd like to have both of them filled. So I'm back up to 2 liters filled. Look at that. And you know, every time I see something, I stop to take out my camera and film it, either picture or video. And it doesn't take very long to take it out, but it slows me down. So that's why I'm going a little slower, but I don't mind, I guess. There's something hanging here, a bag. Somebody must have lost their bag. So it looks like a tent bag. I'm sure it's there for a reason. Maybe someone left it there for someone else to grab. Typically what happens out on the trail, so I don't want to mess with it. But it's pretty in this area. 3:15 p.m. coming up on Old Orchard Shelter. I'm going to stop here for a second to take off the wind shirt and eat a small snack, and then I'm going to keep going. I'm trying to get to Hurricane Mountain Shelter. That's about 4.5 to 5 miles out yet. It's looking like 5:30 or 6 p.m., but I want to get there. So anyway. Looks pretty empty. So let me put my pack down here and eat a snack. Pretty back in here, there's a bear box down there. Tenting, it looks like. It's 4 p.m. I just crossed over a roadway, and there was a little sign in the trail that said, "Congratulations, you mustered up the courage to hike the AT," and it had a little bottle of mustard in the photograph. I took a picture of it. So this is pretty cool. There's a little bridge there and a bigger bridge here and the blaze. So obviously I go up over this wooden bridge. It looks like a new one, so maybe the old one washed out or something and they had to rebuild it. They have a smaller option there that leads to this middle island, but it doesn't connect you across the other side. So now they got this big one. Now I have a big climb coming, so Pretty cool. This must be the start of the big climb. I saw a can that hadn't been opened of ginger ale, Canadian Dry. Maybe it was left behind as trail magic, but I couldn't tell. Just a single can, so I didn't take it. And that's fine. Let's get up and over this mountain before it gets to be too late, so I can get to the shelter on the other side. So Hurricane Mountain Shelter is on the other side. I want to do it tonight. So really there's no turning back because there's nowhere to go from here to there. So once I get there, I'll know it. There's either a shelter or tenting options. So we'll see. And so it's a little after 5 p.m., like 5:06. And I'm about a half mile out from Hurricane Shelter. This is the direction I'm going. Beautiful. It's been very breezy today. I actually felt a sprinkle. This is where I came from. A sprinkle a while back, but it's just a sprinkle and gone. If it decides to rain, I hope it waits till I get to the shelter. So this shelter was 15 miles today, and this was my original goal. I had a fallback plan at 12.5 miles down by a creek. There's a climb coming to the shelter. I'm on the Dowden side now. It's flat at the moment. So I didn't know that I'd get here. I had a little snack before starting that climb, put some music in. Thankfully, the trail was actually pretty smooth all the way up the climb, and it was a steady, gradual climb. It wasn't super steep. So I was able to get up here pretty fast. I was pretty happy with myself. I'll be there in probably about 15 minutes. Now, Toe Jam and I met on the trail a lot earlier today, and he said that he would probably be stopping at the shelter as well. Who was it? Cheers and Big Shot were shooting for the shelter, though I passed them at lunchtime. They stopped on the trail to have their lunch, and Big Shot was saying that she was a little fatigued today and they might stop short. So who knows if they'll come all the way in. I don't know, there could be others there. I know that, who is it? Rambo, a young kid, pretty strong hiker. I have to believe he's there because he shoots out fast in the morning, and that's probably what he did today as well from Grayson Highlands, and he's probably been sitting at this shelter for quite a while. Hopefully it's not overly crowded. It has room for 8 people. I might actually stay in the shelter tonight. I was trying to avoid doing that. Campsite is about 1/10 of a mile before the shelter, but the benefit of staying in the shelter tonight is I don't have to break out my tent. And I have about 6 miles to get tomorrow before 11 a.m., which does not seem like a big deal, but I'll have to be out the door by 8. And lately I haven't been able to do that. It's been like 8:30, 8:45. So I want to make certain that I don't have to deal with the tent, and I probably won't do coffee in the morning because those things slow me down, though. I do love my coffee. And I brought a pour over for my cup this time. So it's like this little screen system you set on your cup. And I brought a bag of ground Kona coffee with me. That was another luxury item, I guess, because that's pretty heavy. But boy, is that coffee good compared to that instant stuff I had been drinking. So that was worth the wait. And I'm going to continue to do that throughout the rest of this hike. So anyway, get to the shelter, see how it plays out. If it's crowded, I'll find a place to put my tent up. Maybe I'll find a place nearby to put my tent up anyway. We'll have to see. But yeah, things are going well. It's beautiful back in here, very green, as you can see. And it's been a strong breeze since yesterday about 2 p.m. and it just has not let up, like 40, 50 mile an hour gusts. I say that because I looked at the weather and that's what it predicted, 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts. And I don't know how long it's going to hold, but it'd be nice if the wind died down a little bit. I mean, I don't mind 10 mile an hour gusts, but it doesn't have to be that strong, does it? Anyway, we're getting there. All right, so I'm going to walk you up to the shelter I'm staying at, Hurricane Shelter. There is a bear box right here where I have my food bags inside it, along with the others. The other people staying here. There's only 3 other people staying here. I just went down and got water, which I'm going to use to wash my hands with here in a minute, and to refill my water bottles. I've been adding some little purification tablets to my water bottles on top of the filtering, only because it kills all the viruses that the filter itself does not kill. Hey everyone, I'm filming if you're okay. I'm just showing. So all right, so this is our setup for tonight. It's been months since I've slept in the shelter, but we have I don't say we, there's a fire going. I'm part of it. And I'm on the far end of the shelter over here in my bag and soon to get dressed out and ready to be warm. But it's a beautiful night, just a little cool. Good evening. It's about 7:15. I'm at the hurricane shelter. I was calling it Hurricane Mountain Shelter, but I believe it's just hurricane shelter. I'm actually going to sleep in the shelter tonight, being very cautious about the whole norovirus thing. Now, I'm surprised there are no through hikers staying at the shelter tonight. There's a young section hiker, like a 22-year-old kid who's from New Jersey, who's section hiking from Damascus up to Harper's Ferry, so about 560 miles, just starting out. And then there's a young couple from New York, 30 years old or so, that are dating, and they're on a section hike, and they're finishing up tomorrow, getting off the trail. Both groups of them are very kind and friendly people, so good to hang out with and get to know. And I'm thankful that I'm not around the normal hiker crowd, to be honest with you. But it's been a good day today. Got 15 miles in, which is surprising. I did not expect that. But I'm going to get off the trail tomorrow in Troutdale. So I'm meeting a shuttle in 6 miles, probably around 10:30, 11 a.m. I'm meeting them at Dickey Gap, going to Troutdale. And I'm going to get a shower, get some laundry done, and just kind of take care of myself for a day and get some things I need to get done. There's no food resupply at that point, but they do have laundry. And then about 2 days later, I'm going to Marion, which is about 30 miles up the trail. And the only reason I'm doing that is Marion doesn't have laundry services in town unless you stay at the hostel. And I refuse to stay at the hostel at this point. There's a group of through hikers that are not the coolest people to hang out with, so I'm trying to avoid them. And I mean, they're not mean or anything. I just don't like the vibe they have going. So they'll probably be at that hostel. I'm going to stay in a hotel in Marion across from Walmart and get my resupply there and try to take care of cleaning up my tent since it's dirty. They won't have laundry services, so tomorrow I'll do my laundry a day early, and then I'll get into town in Marion, which is much larger, and get my food resupply and all that taken care of. Some notes from today. Got to see the ponies again in Grayson Highlands. Almost got ran over by 4 ponies this morning. I was walking down the trail about 9 a.m., a narrow part of the trail, when I just saw a black flash coming right at me. I jumped out of the way just in time. I thought it was a bear. Ended up being 4 ponies led by a black pony. They were sprinting down the trail right at me. No stopping for anything, but I got off the trail and it was cool. Couldn't get my camera out fast enough to film it. It was pretty easy today on the trail. The one climb I handled a lot better than I thought I would. But all is well. I'm doing great. The weather has been very windy. It's going to be very cold tonight, so I'm prepared for that. But yeah, looking forward to the next few days and what that has to offer. Thanks for following along. I appreciate all of your support, and I'm going to keep plugging along. So, Sunny D out.